Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the webinar tonight. And I'm using a different camera, so I will be looking down at my computer every now and then just to explain what I'm glancing at down there. But welcome to the webinar for the Empathic Leadership. And tonight here at the Institute of Empathic Leadership, we're going to be talking about depression and how it's the gateway to the soul, or your soul essence. So, one of the things that I want to talk to you about tonight is, first of all, some housekeeping, which entails our chat box, which I'm just getting up now. So if you have any questions or any comments, please pop it into the chat box so I can have some interaction. And I really welcome your questions, because the more questions there are, the deeper I can go into the actual topic. So first of all, depression. Everybody, I think, either had depression, knows somebody's had depression, or has got depression, a family member, a friend, and it's quite prolific in our society now. The word never used to be used very much, sort of 20, 30 years ago, but now people are saying, they feel bad for a day, so they're depressed. So there's a variety of meanings behind the word, and I just want to make that clear to start with. There's people who are clinically depressed and who must have medical intervention to help them to break the chemical imbalance that causes, and there's others who flow through life but feel at times depressed in the way they look at life or the way life feels. Now, I'm going to go over the generalities of what that looks like within a person, and then work through that process with you. So what is depression? And the way I see it is it's the inability to feel our emotions authentically, to be judging our emotions and to trying to contain them. And also our mind collaborates with those emotions and does like spaghetti brain, which is where, one thought may start, but then all of a sudden you've got another thought, another thought, another thought, another thought, and all of a sudden it's all just tangled up in this just massive like spaghetti or string. And that in itself is quite debilitating, because when our thoughts are doing that, it's very hard to just pick out one and focus on that one thought. We try to focus on all of them and fix them in some way. Same with how we feel. So, do we have any comments or questions or anything so far? Now, remember, the chat box is a key thing. I'm just hoping everyone can hear me. So if there's any problems with the audio or visual, just let me know. Okay, so one of the things about depression is that it can be so overwhelming that you can't see your way out of it. It feels like this huge weight that you're carrying around on your shoulders. Now, that weight quite often can come from people who have depression have the ability to actually see all the problems in the world, in the external world, their own world, inside themselves. So they have this amazing ability to actually see problems. Now, you would go, well, what's the point of that? Why would you want to see all the problems? Well, the point of it is that if you can see a problem, then you can take the next step to actually understanding what that problem is there for. And it's not about fixing the problem, it's understanding what it's there to teach us. So people with depression have this ability, and that's why it's called the gateway to the soul's essence, because you have the ability to learn from these problems what they're trying to teach us from this deep inner wisdom, so that we grow with that. We understand ourselves and our world and our place in it more significantly. Now, one of the key characteristics of people with depression is they feel insignificant. And it's this insignificance that keeps them down, depressed, pushed down, withdrawn. If they don't, everyone needs a sense of significance in the world and in themselves. For example, we have a significance in our roles, whether it's as a mother or as a friend or as an auntie or as a uncle, whatever it is. It could be as a leader, it could be as a whatever role you have in your work or in your business. Now, if we don't have this significance, then we drift. We're like we've got no rudders. And that's when this depression can start to take over, because without a rudder, we see all the problems. It's like we're swirling around in this big whirlpool of problems and feelings and thoughts, and not knowing how to actually swim out of it. So that's why it's really important to learn how to find the wisdom within the problems. Now, any questions from that so far? Is that absolutely clear for everybody? All right. Yes, that's great. Cool. So as I said, if we make those problems into our growth path, then we can learn to break the problems down into meaningful issues, and that makes it more manageable. So that also gives you clarity in your life purpose and excuse me, and in your life purpose and in your daily purpose. So the life purpose is the big picture thing. The daily purpose is the purpose that you have in each day in regards to moving forward, doing what you need to do to achieve what it is that you want in your long-term goals. When we're in that depressive state, we can't even see goals, never mind how to take the action. So we need to actually then come back to being able to work from the smallest steps to start with. It's like, how do I find significance in this day? How do I find significance in myself, in my role today? If in seeing all the problems that I see, how can I actually stop figuring out how to fix them and actually learn from them? Now, an example of a problem that we can learn from is, let's look at a big picture one. Now, when we look at, let's say, animal activists, people that do rallies and rally for the health of animals and the care of animals, which is a wonderful thing. I mean, I love animals. Now, we could look at the problems with how animals are cared for in the world and go, it's just a disaster and they're all suffering and it's really bad. Or we could look at it in a way that it is activating people to stand up for what they believe in. So the problem of the bad care, the mistreatment of animals, is that it pushes people's buttons enough to get them to actually do something about it and to rally and to, blockade and all of the things that they do, so that animals have a better state of protection from us, by us. So if you look at it in that way, that problem is actually producing its own solution. And every problem does. So we just need to look at the problems differently. We need to look at them as they have the solutions within them for those problems. And it's the same within our day-to-day life. If we've got something going on at work that is an issue, and let's say it's bullying, and we're feeling really depressed and, you know, weighed down by it, you look at the bullying and what is it there for? What is it trying to teach us to do? And in actual fact, bullying is all about standing up in our boundaries, standing strong in our values, in our boundaries, and making sure we have consequences to those boundaries. So for a bully, for example, it could be that you would report them to HR or the leader of the team or whoever it is, and if it wasn't taken care of, then you would leave. So the consequence is you would find another job because you wouldn't stand for it. So if we look at it all from that point of view, then there is no stuckness in a problem if you look at it from where's the solution within that problem. So it's just that mind flip that we can do. And what that does is it loosens up our emotional state so that we're not so invested in the problem, but curious to actually see where the problem can lead us in a solution way, in a way that helps us to grow and understand what we're about, what the universe is about, and why we're here, which is our sole purpose, which is to grow. So you can see how depression can be the gateway to our soul essence, because depression leads us to the problems, which has the answers, which takes us on our path to our soul essence and having it actually more present in who we are. So we're more authentic in who we are. Now, I hope that is clear for everybody. If you need any more examples or have any questions about that, please let me know. What else do we have here? So one of the things about people talk about in depression is it feels dark. Like when they go deep inside, they feel or can sense or see this pit of darkness inside of them, and it feels scary. And I've heard people say they will go down the rabbit hole and they'll never get back out again. It's all dark and scary down there. Now, what I want you to also understand is that the darkness within us is the place where pure creativity sits. It's the place where all the inner wisdom, all the creative ideas and new ways of thinking and doing and being all sit within that darkness. So if we're trying to constantly get away from that darkness, then we are constantly getting away from our creativity and our ability to actually see things differently. Now that is the path that leads to more depression. So as much as it may sound scary, especially for people who are in deep, deep depression, that we have to go deeper into the darkness with help, with guidance, and with support, so that we can actually find those sparks, those diamond sparks of creativity, of understanding that are in there. And when we do that, it's like a rabbit hole with two tunnels. So you go down one tunnel into the rabbit hole, into the burrow, the dark bit. And when you start to not be afraid of the darkness and stop panicking, you look around and you can see there's actually another way out. You don't have to back up and get away. You can actually go through and out the other side and see the lightness. Now, it's in the old saying, what is above is as is below. And everyone goes, we need to rise up to get to the light feelings, the lightness of our spirit and our understanding. But in actual fact, if you're in the darkness, you're much closer to the light than if you tried to climb back out, because it's underneath the darkness. So it's a bit like the darkness is in the center and we're in that, and the light is all the way around it. And instead of constantly backing out and trying to sort of get out to, it's like swimming backwards to try to get to the light, you just go forwards and you glide through into the light on the other side of that ball. I hope that makes sense. It's a bit of a visual that you can use to actually help you to move forward in those deeper feelings and thoughts that go on. Now, yes, we will need help at times. So, if you need help, you have to put your hand up and say that you need help. And one of the things that I do is I actually, if you're interested, I can make a plan of attack and defense so that we can actually move through whatever it is that's holding you back, whatever it is that's holding you down, and then we can start taking some action. Right, that's all good. Okay. So now let's actually do a bit of a meditation and go through the processes of accepting the darkness a little bit. It's just a really easy process. There's nothing too scary about it at all. All you got to do is sit and relax and listen to my voice. So it can't get much easier than that. So what I'd like you to do is just to close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in, make sure you're nice and relaxed, sitting down or lying down, and just breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And as you're breathing in through the nose, you'll start feeling this sensation coming down through your body of a relaxation. Now, every time you breathe in, this relaxation spreads right throughout your body. And as you breathe out, you let this relaxation flow down through your feet into the earth. So just breathing in deeply, and it's just relaxing all the cells of your body. And as you breathe out, down through your legs and your feet, down into the earth. And you just continue this breath. Nice deep breathing. And as you do, you let go of your thoughts. They won't go away, but you're just unattached to them. And as you continue this breathing and you let go of the thoughts, you feel the tension start to drop away, the tension that's built up over your day, just allowing yourself to just drop your shoulders, loosen up your neck just that little bit, and allow your back to just soften, and feel your stomach just start to expand and relax. And as your shoulders drop, your arms relax and your fingers go loose. And it flows down through your hips and your pelvic area, just allowing them all to just soften up. Feeling this flow through your body, down through your feet. And as it flows down through your legs, all those muscles and all the cells within the muscles just start to let go. Your knees soften, your ankles soften, and your feet and your toes just relax after a hard day, allowing them to just be soft. Wriggling those toes and then just letting them relax. And as you do that, you have the ability to observe your thoughts in your head. And as you do that, you feel your emotions within your heart and stomach. And you just allow them to be there. We're not going to change them. We don't need to do anything. We just want to be present with them. And as we do that, we think of the times where we have felt depressed or do feel depressed now. And we look at it from this viewpoint of another direction, of its deeper meaning of why it's there, to teach us, to show us the answers. So we see the problems. What are the problems sitting inside of you? What are the problems that you worry about? Just pick one and look at it from the viewpoint of it's got the answer within it. It's got the answer sitting there. All you have to do is relax, be curious, and look and ask, what is this answer? Why is this problem with me? It could be so I can grow. It could be so I can learn to have boundaries. It could be so I know how to find my voice. Whatever it is for you, just breathe into it and allow it come to you, whether it be in a feeling, a picture, a thought, sensation. And as you continue to breathe, you start to see the absolute gold that is within you in that depressive darkness. The diamonds that sparkle and shine to guide you to a new and creative way of thinking and doing and being. And you feel this sense of lightness coming into that space. And as it does so, the darkness isn't solid like it used to be. It swirls and moves and flows. And as you watch it, it's entertaining and beautiful. And you're curious to see what shapes it goes into. And as you spend more time with it, you start to feel at ease, knowing that you've now got the key to finding the answers. Not the answers to fix, but the answers to grow and understand. The answers that are your deepest wisdom and the deepest meaning and purpose for your life. So knowing that you can go back to this space at any time to find the answer, to be curious, to explore. You take a nice deep breath in and you feel your body still nice and relaxed. You feel it starting to awaken. And you wriggle your toes and your fingers. And I want you to take 3 nice deep breaths in. In through the nose. And as you breathe in, you feel your feet on the ground, coming back into the present time. And as you breathe out, you release anything that needs to be gone. So breathing in and out. And one more, in and out. Beautiful. So how did you find that? I'd love to know what it was that you felt or saw, or how that meditation actually felt for you. It's generally, it's quite relaxing, and it opens up our curiosity. So I'd love to hear from you in that. We've got a couple of questions there. So, okay, so there was a question of what if I can't see the solution? If you can't see a solution, then you're looking to fix something. The solution is generally about growth. So the question to ask is, what can I learn from this? And you might get just the first little bit of that learning. And then you go, after that you go, okay, so what more can I learn from this? And there's layer after layer after layer, which is what life is about, isn't it? We've heard about the onion and the many layers that we need to peel off. Well, it's the same with every aspect of ourselves. There are many layers, and we don't need to go to the core immediately. We just need to take that first layer off and understand that, integrate that. Don't worry, the next layer will turn up. It always does. So felt relaxed. I learnt it's okay to be alone. I need to be more social. Fantastic, Owen. That's great. Excellent. And you like the analogy of the rabbit hole. Yes, it's a great visual. So Vanderfield, lighter, like and can find a pathway to a solution. That's amazing. Well done, Vander. So, you know, there's this particular technique. Now that you've got the recording, you can use this anytime and just practice it. And if you use this recording, then it's very easy to go into it more deeply, because you don't have to think about how you're doing it. You just get guided through it. So please make use of this. Get the recording, download it, and really have it somewhere on your phone or your computer so that you can listen to it every day when you want to actually start doing a little bit more introspective discovery. Excellent. Okay. So let's have a look. So how about we do this? If you'd like to work with this and with what's working and what's not working, and really get into creating a plan around this sort of issue, then I can help you. And well, basically, are you up for it? Do you really want to make the changes that are available to you? Now, that in itself can be done quite easily. The meditation we did today was really, really simple, yet very, very deep. And that's the way I really love to work. I want everything to be really simple, but to go deep, to make big changes really fast. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link into the chat box to, let me just get rid of that, so that, there we go. So that if you want to, you can, there we go, pop that in there. Oops, I reckon let's see. Try that again. There we go. So, Sarah, you joined late. Where can I get the recording? Sarah, I will email it out to you. Tomorrow, everyone will get an email with this, the link to this recording, so that you can download it. And anyone who's listening to this, obviously, who isn't on here live, if you've registered, then you've already got the recording. You'll also have in your email the link to book in a chat with me. So if you want to have a plan, or you want to talk about having some options and some clarity, then please just let me know, and we can actually sit down and have 15 minutes of free time where we can really nail this down. Okay, all right. Now in that 15 minutes, we'll also explore how best I can help you. It's everyone's individual, so I like to chat with people and just make sure that whatever it is that you need is what you will get. Okay, so we've just got another question here. Oh, and yes, yay, go. All right, thanks, Sarah. You got that, that's good. All right, so that's it for this evening. Now, the next webinar will be, I think it's on the 1st of October, and I haven't set the subject matter yet, but you will get an email about that. And don't forget, on my Facebook page, Institute of Empathic Leadership, all the events are on there. So make sure you check it out and register straight away so that you get the reminders, and that way you won't miss anything. And even if you can't make any of the webinars live, you will get the recording. So that's really important. So make sure you do that. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being online tonight. And if you don't have any more questions, we'll leave it at that. And I look forward to talking with you again very soon. Bye for now.